The climax to one of the greatest political dramas is almost upon us, the 2016 U.S. presidential election. On Tuesday, November the 8th, Americans will decide who'd let into the White House. And here's what the latest projections are from a poll of the polls provided by RCP. Let's bring out the numbers for you right now, and it does look like Democrat Hillary Clinton ultimately coming out on top with 45% of the vote, and that is beating her Republican rival Donald Trump now with just 43% of the vote. Now, this campaign has been, to put it mildly, bitter and dirty. Both candidates fighting gloves off, so here's 40 seconds worth of them at their finest.
Racist, sexist, homophobic.
Going after people. That's her specialty.
He incites violence.
And she caused the violence.
Racist,
Crooked,
deplorable,
liar,
outrageous,
pathetic,
Islamophobic, you name it.
Crooked Hillary Clinton.
Donald has issues.
lies.
This is a man who has called women pigs.
Bill Clinton was abusive to women.
He'd rather have a puppet as president of the United States.
No puppet.
And it's pretty clear.
You're the puppet.
Name one positive thing that you respect in one another.
Mudslinging like that has been the trademark of this year's presidential race. Now, of course, having a dig at your rival is nothing new, but the sheer relentlessness with which it's been done in this campaign does stand out. Just picture, for example, John F. Kennedy and Richard Nixon going at each other like that in the 1960s. Actually, we tried to do exactly that.
I think Mr. Nixon is an effective leader of his party. I hope he would grant me the same. The question before us is, which point of view and which party do we want to lead the United States?
I can only say that my experience is there for the people to consider. Senator Kennedy's is there for the people to consider. And I think both he and I are going to abide by whatever the people decide.
I was so surprised to see him sign on with the devil.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
I know you live in your own reality, but that is not the fact.
She has tremendous hate in her heart.
I can only say that I'm certainly relieved that my late father never did business with you.
No
United
puppet,
States,
no puppet.
And it's pretty clear.
You're the puppet.
It's pretty.
So that didn't really sound right. But there is a pair of past presidential hopefuls who could give Clinton and Trump a serious run for their money when it comes to trading insults. For example, meet John Quincy Adams, the 6th president of the United States. When he was still a hopeful, he tried to get under the skin of his rival Andrew Jackson by calling his wife promiscuous, Jackson's mother a prostitute. Well, Jackson hit back by branding Adams a pimp. Now, the press at the time was hounding both candidates with scandalous allegations ranging from adultery to theft of public funds, and that was in 1828. So now RT's Caleb Maupin looks at the dirty tricks of the 2016 presidential campaign.
The 2016 presidential race in the U.S. has certainly been colorful. Donald Trump went personal for his opponents.
Lion Ted Cruz.
Don't worry about it, little Marco.
Did you ever see a guy sweat like Rubio?
Very nasty guy.
Crooked Hillary. I will beat her so badly.
Hillary Clinton certainly had many, shall we say, points of criticism in relation to Donald Trump.
He is temperamentally unfit. Racist, calls women pigs. He praises dictators.
As the candidates sparred with each other, there have been some wild punches thrown.
We have a super predator running for president. His name is Donald Trump.
You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab him by the
If you look at Bill Clinton, far worse, minor words, and his was action.
The Clinton camp hasn't had the easiest time with keeping secrets. The U.S. public has learned quite a bit about how Mrs. Clinton's team plays the game of politics, thanks to numerous leaks and undercover investigators. About inciting violence at Trump rallies.
We are contracted directly with the DNC and the campaign. So we're starting anarchy here.
Or having a cozy relationship with the press. Lots of observers are saying the press hasn't been exactly balanced during election campaigns.
The emails are out there somewhere probably, and that we could have a president that could be blackmailed over them. That's what concerns me. It's about our national security.
Hold on. You can't just invent things. You can't just invent things.
I'm not inventing
anything.
anything.
You just invented an entire thing.
We are great because we are good.
America's great. All right, so I want to ask you, what was it about Hillary Clinton's argument?
She stated that America is already great.
I'm joined by legal and media analyst Lionel. He's here to give us a piece of his mind. Lionel, is this a particularly dirty election?
You and I arguing platforms or positions, that's gone. What we do is we have opposition research. I will bring up everything in my power to discredit you. I will have people, surrogates, working for me, like the old days of Segretti and others. I will find out everything about you.
A few die-hard supporters might be anticipating a victory for their candidate, but most Americans are probably thinking something along the lines of, I can't wait for this all to finally be over with. Caleb Maupin, RT, New York.
The incitement of violence at Trump rallies by the Clinton camp that Caleb just mentioned was revealed in a video investigation by the Project Veritas group. As you can see here, consultants were caught on hidden camera discussing provocative tactics. We spoke to the man behind the investigation, James O'Keefe.
Bob Creamer, the convicted felon who's been fired from the DNC for orchestrating this whole thing, admitting that it was Hillary's idea to have people dress up like Donald Duck in Donald Duck costumes and agit-prop people at rallies to provoke a response from people. So the whole video series shows that it was orchestrated right from the White House down, that it came right from Hillary Clinton, and that Bob Creamer has a very close relationship with President Obama. These are high-level operatives. And the fact that they were inducing violence at Trump rallies and illegally coordinating together with nonprofit organizations and super PACs in violation of federal campaign coordination laws. So the expose was probably one of the most powerful, indicting video things of this election.
The negative campaigning, which has dominated the U.S. 2016 presidential race, has even made it tough for some to be able to tell the difference between the two rivals. Here's RT's William Whiteman.
I think it's fair to say that this has been the dirtiest US presidential campaign ever. No, but seriously, how much mud has been slung this year? On controversies alone, it's almost impossible to tell the two candidates apart. For example, let's play a little game here. Have I or my family ever been caught up in a sexual scandal?
Yes.
Do I have a scandal-ridden foundation?
Yes.
Do my supporters incite violence?
Yes.
Do I have ties to Wall Street?
Yes.
Have a go at playing it at home with your families and loved ones. It is incredibly depressing.